Absolutely. Slowly but surely, right? Slowly but surely, right?
Hey, this is the last thing I'm gonna say on the Candace Owens thing.
Mm.
Though, to me, people like her historically is worse than the Triple K. Dog, I'm gonna be real with you. I can't stand no raccoons. I can't.
Mm.
For real.
I can't. That's like my biggest pet peeve in life is a raccoon. Tap dances.
But if you notice, most of them, they're like first or second generation immigrants themselves. Like they were born here, but their parents came from a different country.
Absolutely. No,
They're
you
not really
absolutely
connected and
right.
rooted in with Black history here. Like they're not embedded from the slaves.
Oh, you absolutely correct on that. Because a lot of them, like you said, second generation Africans and all of that that be here. Oh, them be some of the biggest raccoons out here.
Mm-hmm.
They call
Biggest
them feathers.
raccoons. But it's crazy too because the truth of the matter is a lot of them, especially in South Africa, they come from a colonized mindset too. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, you're right about that. They
I
was
mean, so
colonized, but
one
they
of the
slavery is
artists
a
that
little
I
bit
grew
different.
up listening to was a jazz artist by the name of Fela Kuti. He was a jazz music, African jazz musician, and I was watching an old interview of his where he talked about how the colonization and the mindset of Africans and how if they treated the Africans with lighter complexion better than the dark complexion. And the people who spoke English the best, if they left and went to England to study and went to Europe to study and came back, the other Africans would consider them to be masters because they learned their knowledge. So the colonial mindset runs very, very deep, even in Africa. It runs deep all around the world, to be honest. That's why I said they gaslighted the entire world into worshiping whiteness. It's crazy.
I'm trying to think. They were in slavery like a short amount of time, but they were colonized longer than us, right?
Yeah, so they were colonized in a sense of like about apartheid and everything.
Right, oppression more
Yeah,
so, but you have more freedom. But yeah, but
yeah.
we were
So that's why if you go to Nigeria, if you go, that's why they speak French. You know what I
right.
mean? I grew up around a lot of Africans in LA.
Sound like they bent the
Um,
knee to me.
you said
Go ahead,
what?
I'm sorry, brother. I know I'm saying sound like they just gave up, like just throwing the towel to me, honestly.
Well, no, they didn't
Um,
give up. No, they didn't give up. No, if you go back, that's the whole uprising happened during apartheid,
Okay,
and that's how
okay.
you ended
You know,
up
I don't know
getting.
too. I don't got too much information on that, so I'm just
Well, yeah,
brother.
that's how you ended up getting. That's how you ended up getting Nelson Mandela as president after they threw him in prison. But
Okay.
his wife was leading the charge even while he was locked up, and so they definitely fought back. No, they definitely fought back,
Okay,
and
okay,
eventually
okay.
they were
Yeah, I
able
just
to.
don't. I don't know much about it. I ain't gonna lie. I ain't knowledgeable
Oh
on
yeah, no, do your
it. I'm just going by what.
do your research on Nelson Mandela and just the overall apartheid movement. This is
I mean, I
all.
have heard of it, but like I said, I ain't did no research at all.
Yeah. No, you good. No, but yeah, they didn't completely lay down, but they are extremely colonizing. So that's when you go to a lot of these South African and West African countries, a lot of them are they speak white languages. They speak English, but their second language, a lot of them is like French, and they speak
Right.
different European languages because of the colonization. You know,
right, that's true. That's true. I think that's where the disconnect is, though. Like Africans don't understand our plight, and we don't understand their plight. But it's literally like the same as like I like my egg fried hard, but you might like yours cooked medium. But it's literally the same egg. It's just almost a different experience, but it's
but
still the
that's
Right.
same
the
thing.
that's the truth globally. The truth
Yeah,
globally
Glow.
is that
You're right.
white people have went around globally and fucked everybody over. But in the process of fucking everybody over globally, they also got them to look around and say, you know what? This is the standard for greatness. White is the standard for greatness. That's what they've gotten everybody to see. So that's why Asians,
Crazy.
they look down on us. Hispanics, they look down on us. They look down on darker skinned people and they look up and aspire to a level of whiteness And that goes like, because even you have British and the Europeans colonized a lot of different parts of Asia. And even like in China, you have the British embassy in China. You know what I'm saying? That's where Jackie Chan was actually raised through the British embassy in China. That's where he got all his skills of learning theater and all of that. You know what I'm saying? Yes.
I know that.
Yeah, absolutely. You know what I'm saying? So they colonized all around, and simultaneously, while fucking them over, got people to also look up to them and say, this is what we should aspire to be like. You know,
But do you
Western
think that's
mindset.
so you just did say, I was gonna say, do you think that's because it's a Western mindset? Because you think about it, when people were coming into Africa, they were almost invited and not like seen upon like as kind of conquest or anything. But like you said, they've always gone to the scene looking to take what they can instead of trying to learn. It's weird.
Yeah, they take what they can. They take resources. They'll take certain knowledge and certain things, rebrand it and say they did it or it's theirs, right? The biggest thing is they play. They don't know true diplomacy. Europeans, they've never really been true diplomats, but they pretend to be true diplomats. They might pretend to play ball with you before they do barbaric type things to you. You know what I'm saying? And they'll you know, it's like dealing with that fake, you know, a fake friend or something that he's smiling in your face and laughing behind your back and stealing from you. You know what I'm saying? That's what they've always done.
They got an older man that explained that, a video I seen when I was like in high school, about the human genome and like how different I guess you could say races have like numbers. I don't remember exactly what it was, but it was like he would number, and they test the human genome, did a big test, and West African had like a number 6 and Caucasians had 5, but they had an evil streak or something. I don't know. I'll look it up one day and send it to Conti. That shit was just crazy. That kind of explains why they are the way they are. You know what I'm saying?
I think I know what you're talking about, like the Human Genome Project. I know a dude who was big on. I think I know what you're talking about, but it's a study to like kind of differentiate where we come from, or DNA identity markers.
Something like that.
And see, that's why they want to take. They're trying to wipe out our history, the true history, because they want to take credit for everything. Because if you guys heard that speech, I didn't listen to everything, but what Stephen Miller said, he was lying through his damn teeth, talking about the white nationalists built everything, they created everything. Since when? Since when? Because as far as I know, you know, most of these inventions, when it comes to everything, technology and all of that, started from the hands of Black people. And our ancestors, if I'm not mistaken, built this country. So
you're nothing. You know, I'm sorry. That speech was, he looked at like so small while he was saying that. But go ahead, my apologies.
Oh no, you good. No, I was just saying, like, they really trying to like take away our history though. Like, they want to take credit for everything, because he know he was a bold-faced lie to get up there in front of all them people talking about his people built and created everything.
Oh, you talking about the white dude at the CK memorial?
Yeah, Stephen Miller. That dude is off the chain.
That was crazy. That's what I'm saying. Like, they saying the quiet part out loud right now. Are we not seeing
and people
this?
Still not getting it. People still not catching on. It's not a surprise to me, though.
The craziest thing is, after that speech, I heard them saying, oh, he was talking about the Republicans versus the Democrats. What? This man sat up there and referenced ancient Greek and Rome. What the hell did that got to do with Democrats and Republicans? You know what I'm saying?
We built these things, the architecture, the art, the land.
People are so delusional. That's why it's like, it's nothing that you can really do to zap them out of it, because they will make excuses. But that's the main thing I saw from MAGA people saying after that was, he was talking about the Democrats and the Republicans. He was talking about conservatives and how we built everything. I'm like, what?
I can't stand when people do that. It's like they're intentionally being disingenuous. Like, they know what the truth is, but they just want to just lean elsewhere.
But they have to know
to keep the deception going.
Yeah, hey, when I hit a certain age, I'm gonna work on a book called the Great Gaslighting. The Great Gaslighting. I'm gonna break it down. I'm gonna do all my research. So I got every instance of how the white man has gaslighted and manipulated constantly throughout history.
Hey,
You
that
know
book
what I'm
gonna be
saying?
like the Bible.
Yeah, absolutely.
You better
Because
start
it's so
right now.
prevalent. It's so prevalent. It's so prevalent. like
You,
they can say anything. That's what I know. Donald Trump must feel an immense amount of power right now to know he can say and do anything, and he's gonna have a large population of people that's gonna worship him and follow him.
you about to be on the
For
like
real.
Denzel, like on the Book of Eli. That's
Oh man,
you gonna
I
be
love that
riding
movie
with
too.
20.
Yeah. No, that's real, and that's another thing too. That movie is so real because
Oh,
the fact that he said like these are the words that I need that can control mankind. That movie is real for that, man. Because
dang.
like that's look at CK. Look at how much they tolerate his hatred because he hid it behind Christianity and behind scriptures. So he could say some of the most nasty, vile things. He could spread lies about minorities and black people constantly. But you know what they'll say? He was a man of God.
Yeah.
Man, that was, you know what? I can say this much. We don't have the same God. I'm gonna just say this. I don't know what God they got, but they got their own God. Because the God that I know and love is nothing like what they teach, preach, or even talk about or believe in.
They've always had their own God. They had the same God that allowed them to give us a slave Bible and try to distort his word.
Exactly.
Like if you a Christian and you're a person of God, wouldn't the last thing that you would allow yourself to do to be to tamper with his word?
Right.
Would that be the biggest no-no is to distort God's word?
And you will believe after all of this with everything that they say in regards to using that Bible, because I don't mess with it. I don't mess with that thing. I feel like it's tainted. I feel like it's not of God. I feel like, men created that. And people just go with it. And unfortunately, I can't convince any of my family who's known that all their lives. They're gonna believe in that Bible regardless. But for me, no. I've been caught on to it. The moment when I first start reading into that book, when I start seeing contradictions, constantly scratching my head. Like I knew it was something off. Like, no, you cannot sit here and really genuinely believe that everything in this book is to be true. Now, I'm not going to say that there's no truths in there. I believe that there's some truths, but this is how it is for me. If somebody was to let me ask y'all this. If somebody was to give y'all an ice cold glass of water, you're very thirsty, right? And you looking at that cup of water, it look good. You can't wait to drink it. But right before they hand it to you, they drop a drop of poison in it. Are you going to drink that?
Nah, hell no.
Hell no, you're not going to drink it. So that's how I see it with that Bible.
Absolutely.
It's tainted.
Absolutely. No, that's
it's
real.
Tainted. Like, I feel like that they use that Bible to have mind control. Because all these people is following these people because it don't even take much. All they got to do is say, Jesus is my Lord and Savior. And then they believe everything that they say.
Trump couldn't
just throw out everything else about, the man talking about how he's okay with gun violence or gun deaths throughout the year. It's needed to protect our Second Amendment right and all of that. But he was still a follower of the true Christ. So no. This is all mind control. They use that book to control the masses.
And Trump couldn't even quote you a single scripture, and they still say he's a man of God.
Man,
He wasn't a Christian, though.
What Christian? The whole purpose of Christianity, and the main thing that Jesus asked his followers to do, is evangelize and go spread the word. Right? Go spread the good news. What type of Christian is going to be asked about their favorite Bible scripture and going to say that's too personal for me to share? That's the main thing you're supposed to do as a Christian is share the word of God. What are you talking about?
That was just his excuse to get out of that question because he don't have a favorite scripture. That's what it is. He don't. Yes. But he know that he can fool the masses with whatever he say. It's crazy.
Yeah, like what type of? That's what I'm saying. Like Sometimes I feel sad for MAGA Republicans.
My bad, family. I had to fuck down my wife. I'm sorry about that.
You know, sometimes I feel sad for them, but then
Yeah.
again, every time I feel bad for them,
I don't.
I know I don't, but that's the thing, right? Every time I feel bad for them, then I remind myself of how evil-hearted they are. But a part of me, sometimes I can't help feeling bad for them for how gullible and stupid and ignorant they are.
Right.
Sometimes you'll catch them and it sounds like they genuinely are believing everything they're being fed. Like it sounds like they're genuinely believing everything that's better, and that's where sometimes I feel a little bit of sympathy from. Like, damn, y'all are really that mentally impaired.
But this is the third
Yeah, the
time.
deception is real.
This is the third time, though.
I'm telling you, honestly,
This is the third time, man.
It's the times that we're in. I can't make out or make an understanding of this all, but it's the time that we're in because it's not even just MAGA that are stupid people. It's people that follow actual other human beings like themselves and believe them to be Christ. Like, believe it or not. It's people out here that believe that there are mere men that are Christ. And it's just appalling to me. It's crazy. It's like people don't. It's too many followers in this world. It's not enough leaders. Right.
But what they actually follow is you know, I got a question for y'all. If Donald Trump was black, would he be on his second term right now?
Heck no. He wouldn't even made it through his first one.
Like this is the reality.
Ain't no way he would run again.
Whenever people want to ask me, right, whenever they want to say, especially white people, they want to say, what is white privilege? White privilege doesn't exist. I said, do y'all know who Donald Trump is?
Right.
the man that could go bankrupt multiple times, be caught
not pay people.
Yeah, be caught stealing, lying, be a convicted felon, and still be able to be president. Now let's play that out. Let's play that out in our minds if that was Obama. The man that got ridiculed for wearing a tan suit. And it was all over Fox News. How could a president ever wear a tan suit like that? That seemed like a comedy skit. Like if somebody, before Obama actually got in office, if somebody told you that one of his biggest criticisms during his presidency would be wearing a tan suit, you would think it was a Dave Chappelle skit.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
but you know, I knew something was wrong last year when he was set to be indicted in November, but he was still eligible to run through his campaign for that election. I'm
absolutely.
Like, and then when they came back talking about he's not doing no time, no community service, no nothing, basically they just gave him a slap on the wrist. They didn't do nothing.
Well, because he was convicted in March of 24. He was convicted in March in 24 and pretty much got to run his whole. And that's the thing, right? Democrats right now, they're trying to play a clean game where they can't afford to. If I was Joe Biden, I would have used every ounce of power I had to make sure that he got sentenced before that election.
Right.
You know, because hey. And look, Donald Trump's first impeachment, he was caught trying to get Ukraine to investigate Joe Biden and Hunter Biden. He got caught trying to politically use his power to go after his political opponents, not once, but multiple times. Right? So if I'm Joe Biden, I'm not playing. If I'm Joe Biden, I'm not playing a clean game with you. I'm not. I would have made sure they would have sentenced your ass before you got a chance.
That's why I'm not understanding why that didn't happen. That's what I'm saying. This all was in plans because the Supreme Court ruling on him getting that immunity as if he's a damn king, that happened months before the election date. So they already had this all in plans. That man should have been indicted and put in prison a long time ago.
Yeah.
Years before. It should have been before year 2024. But what I'm not understanding is how come the Democrats didn't push that to happen so hard? Like they really had the ball in their hands.
They knew this was gonna happen soon as he got impeached the first time. They knew this game plan years ago, bro. Years ago before this even happened. And they should have eliminated, not eliminated, but they should have got him as a political threat out the way years ago. Like,
absolutely. But
and
the thing is, the problem is the Democrats are trying to play a clean game. The reason why they did not use the convictions to persecute Donald Trump is because they didn't want it. They didn't want to be seen as if though they were basically they didn't want to see it because even now you have 90% of MAGA.
And I respect that.
Yeah, but even right now, you have 90% of MAGA that truly believes that both impeachments were both ploys to attack Donald Trump and that he's completely innocent. And you have a large portion of MAGA, even now, that believes that those 34 convictions were all ploys and were just used to attack him.
The e-files. But look at the e-files right now. Mike Johnson just again pushed the date back. You know what I'm saying? Look at this. Like, look at the play in our face. He just pushed it back again. Think about when they interviewed Donald Trump before the election. They asked him about releasing a JFK file. He had buku enthusiasm. Soon as they said something about them F files, that boy like,
he said absolutely. And
like,
then he
come on, man.
Then he thought about it and he said, well, that might have some false things in there and some false names, and I wouldn't want anybody to get falsely.
Come on, man.
This is literally some boondock shit. This is some Dave Chappelle boondock shit right in front of us. Yeah. Imagine that, man. Like, this is literally
even MAGA, bro. Even them, dog. Even them should be like, come on, bro.
This a comedy skit, like, bro. Imagine
it becomes a point as a human, as a regular person with common sense to be. Even if you don't got common sense, you could be an idiot of all idiots, bro, and really sit back and just look at certain things that happen and be like, nah, you know what? Let me go play my banjo in the corner. Let me get away from that bullshit. Like, it's just crazy, bro. Like, I just don't get it. Like, only thing I can say in this, what I say is dying, because my cousin, he just came saying, and he was 100%. Like, dude, drove me crazy the whole time. He just came and said, man, I sure do miss how shit was with Obama. And like, just out of the blue, like, look, I'm like, well, bitch, what's wrong? You know, like, why you ain't had that energy doing the thing? Like, man, I don't know. It's all good. I don't care about all that, man. We got buku problems coming through. I'm like, man, you should have been thought of that, dog.
Because you know what they did.
Been
thought of that, bro.
You know what I think it is? I think it's because
conversation,
when Trump did his first term, he didn't have he had power, but he didn't have the power that he has this term.
Nowhere near.
What I come to learn is lack of conversation, bro. I did not know my cousin was that MAGA. I didn't know he was that type of, you know what I'm saying, politically. Like, we don't talk, you know. We on different levels, like not different levels, but we don't talk politics.
But what Miko said is right, though. What Miko said is right, though. He didn't have nearly the amount of power this term that he had last term, because last term, his first term, he had a lot of just moderate Republicans who were career Republicans who weren't MAGA loyalists. So he couldn't be as extreme his first term, right? That's the first thing. But you want to know the second thing that I think he really did this last election is he weaponized a lot of people's racism and a lot of people's misogynistic tendencies against Kamala Harris, right? And so he got so many, even black people saying, oh, well, she's unqualified and she's stupid. All based on the premise that she's a black woman.
Wait, no, you know what their number one excuse is? This is just from me having, which I don't really like conversating with any Trump supporters because I feel like they're all stupid and it's a waste of time. But their main target on Kamala, is that she's a woman and women are too emotional. And I'm sitting up and I'm thinking, how dumb could you be when you make that statement? We are 260 something days in with this motherfucker. And he is the most emotional. He is more emotional than my damn 3-year-old.
Literally.
Any little thing. He getting shows shut down. All kind of stuff is going wrong. Anybody that says anything against him, he's in his feelings about it.
He throws a tantrum.
He's coming after damn celebrity artists, Taylor Swift.
But
come on now.
But let's be real though, Miko.
What they did, they were smart about this shit. They hit everything psychologically on the slick too. Like they hit like younger people with a certain aspect of Kamala. They hit older people with a certain aspect of Kamala. They hit,
Yeah,
you know, like
yeah.
it's like they
No, that's
literally
true.
did all this shit with the whole setup, man.
That's true. But let's be real about something though. When it comes to black women, and Charlie Kirk used this to his advantage as well when he talked about black women. When it comes to black women, for a lot of the population, there's a presumption of incompetence. There's a presumption of, oh well, because first off, being black, they already assume you're incompetent. Then being a woman, they already assumed you're even more incompetent, right? Mm-hmm. So those are the two strikes that Kamala had against her. But look at even the way Charlie Kirk talked about Joy Reid and Michelle Obama and Ketanji Brown and Sheila Brown Jackson, like saying they lack the brain processing power to be taken seriously.
That's just white men's perception of our black women. That's why
he didn't even go to school though. That's
in reality,
he didn't go to
black
school.
women are the most educated people in the dang universe.
Absolutely.
Lo and behold.
I'm protecting those at all costs. I ain't gonna lie. And my lifeline, I ain't gonna lie. Any black woman, I ain't gonna lie. That's just where I'm at with it now. Not extreme where I'm gonna go wild out and cut up, but I'm protecting them. Like, you know,
no, that's what we got to do is black.
And we got to start teaching our younger ones too. The YNs, start teaching them. Y'all cut up out here, but protect these black women. I don't care. Whatever y'all do out here, y'all do. But these black little girls coming up under y'all and y'all women, protect those. You know
we
what I'm
have
saying?
to.
Like,
that's hard.
You see how they coming? Y'all see how they coming for Jasmine Crockett?
Yeah.
And she fighting for everybody.
Oh yeah.
She's fighting for them.
Oh yeah. I heard some MAGA just yesterday saying, "Oh, look at how ignorant she is and how ghetto she is and how she's promoting violence." And no, they don't like that a black woman is getting scrappy, and she's the only Democrat. Her and Chuck Schumer are the only ones that are willing. First off, they're not dropping to their level. They're not promoting political violence or anything of that nature. But what they are doing is being loud and boisterous and telling them, no, we're not going to let this happen. And if it does happen, we're going to make sure that we fight with everything we have in us to make sure that y'all don't get away with this.
Now, let me say this too, because he ain't say Hakeem. You know what I'm saying? I know he did some bitch ass shit I heard about. I don't remember exactly what it was, but he is stepping up too. You know what I'm saying? So we got to give him his little flowers for that.
I don't know, man. He's down with Israel, man. You got to watch out.
That's what it is.
He's down with nobody that's
at least he's working on the right side right now, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like we gotta take it where we can get it for at the moment. Like we say, dirty, dog.
I get what you're saying, Augusta.
Regular politics. Yeah.
That's true, because even though I'm not siding with nobody that's for genocide, especially when you got children involved. Never. But at the end of the day, if he for us, against what they got going on, you know,
we'll deal with him after. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
We'll deal with him when we get out this bullshit. You know?
Choosing the lesser evil.
Let me be real, right? When I look at our leaders and I go back, I look at Malcolm. You know, when he came back from Mecca, I look at how Martin Luther King passed away. He was so against what we had going in Vietnam, right? So it's hard for me to really reconcile in my mind, you know, somebody that we consider an ally being pro-genocide. That's just...
But see, that's the problem, right? That's the problem the difference between MAGA and us. That's the difference between MAGA and us. Our morals, our principles, the way we look at things. That's, again, why they winning. Right?
And no, you're right. You're absolutely right about that.
Like, you know, because I feel like you. I feel exactly like you. That's bullshit. What's going on?
But you are right, though. You absolutely right. That is what kind of hinders us, because our sense of morality and our sense of moral grandstanding at times, we are too harsh on even our own or the people that agree with us because everything doesn't align. Right. So whereas MAGA, if you have the main one thing that they want you to agree on, or the main two things, they don't care about everything else.
Yep. Even if they don't agree with anything else, they sticking together.
Absolutely. And then another thing is they do not criticize their own publicly.
Yep.
They will not publicly criticize or denounce their own, no matter what.
Like that's why I say we gotta be creating this change. We gotta take the lesser two evils. Like Nico said, that's all we really could do. I mean, we could keep sitting up here playing that moral high ground. And again, like you were saying earlier, they should have been dropped their nuts on them when Trump. That's what I wanted to say. When Trump was going through that trial and they pushed that date back, the Democrats should have dropped their nuts. Biden should have dropped no. Let's hold this trial ASAP. Like I don't know what they could have did, but whatever.
Let me ask you a question about that. Let me ask you a question about that. Do you think that Joe Biden? Well, this is kind of tricky because Joe Biden is a white man. Do you think that he wanted to make white people look bad? See, I be thinking about that a lot. Like Joe Biden, I want to say he wanted to upheld white supremacy, but that kind of it's almost in him to like, no, I can't make my folks look bad. Like he was saying, like, well, I ain't gonna talk about my folks, even though he did run up in the Capitol. And because I think about it, because if it was on the other end, if Biden had the J6 incident and Trump was president, you don't think he would have been trying to prosecute Trump? I mean, you know what I'm saying, prosecute Biden if the roles were reversed.
No, he absolutely
Would have
would.
been in jail. He would have been gone.
That's like we saw Trump multiple times because not only did you had a Ukraine incident that he that got him, his first impeachment, but then he also got caught going to the head of the DOJ and trying to get the DOJ to persecute Joe Biden and Hillary Clinton.
But
so
go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I'm just saying, no, that's it. I'm just saying, like, we know for sure that Trump would have weaponized that.
But as far as Joe Biden not really want to do it because he was a white guy, blah, blah. The problem with that is Biden knew the major threat before that situation. You know what I'm saying? Like Biden knew Trump would prosecute everybody who went against him before that trial date was pushed. You know what I'm saying? So I just feel like, I feel like no, he wouldn't have tried to protect the whiteness of it. You know what I'm saying? In other words,
I don't know, because the reason why I think back to that is even with the Civil War, how the northern states forgave the southern states. I mean, to the point where they gave them three. Because this is another one of my thought processes. Like, what if it was no 3/5 or compromise? They just said we're going to give one slave one vote. We would, like in the first election, we would have been a powerhouse in Congress. And they didn't want that. So like they almost they just made a mistake, guys. They didn't really mean to enslave you. They're cool like we are. And it's kind of almost that forgiveness that keep perpetrating us into this like system we in. Like white people got to start calling out white people. Like, because our voices don't matter a little bit, but if the real folks ain't doing it, we gonna go back to where we keep coming to.
I get it. It's like that innate feeling to protect your own kind. I know what you're saying. Like it's like that they've been doing that shit. So
yeah, I ain't trying to say I knock them, but it's just like something I peep like, because I'm like, well, why would you even need the 3/5 compromise if you just gave the slaves a vote for every man? I'm like, well, okay, they'd have been in representation, because it ain't like the slaves would have voted for the slave owners. You know what I'm saying? I'm a vote for Leroy. I ain't vote for Mr. Charlie. Yeah. So I think just even that.
But Conscious, I got a question for you.
Yes,
so remember when we were all on Greatness Live the other day? Mm-hmm. And that dude, what was his name? Jabo or what? I don't know the dude's name. You know who I'm talking about, right?
Is it Big Jaco? Like JACK?
Jabo.
Yeah,
I know it was something. Remember me and him was going back and forth because he's a Trump supporter.
Right.
They had ended up dropping me, and I ain't fist to pay my hard-earned coins to get back on there to prove a point to a dummy who is not still gonna get through to. But
I'm sorry. Go ahead, finish it. My apologies.
But no, I was just saying that I was pretty agitated with that because nobody was listening to me. I feel like there were a few who was really listening. He was trying to make it as if I was trying to attack his mom. Like I didn't say anything negative, anything towards his mother. I was merely trying to break it down to him because he kept blaming the Biden administration, talking about they are the reason that my mom could not get Medicaid. And I'm like, wait, that don't even sound right. Like, where did you get that from? And so what he did was he went and he showed proof that his mother is now receiving Medicaid, which is good. That's a good thing. I'm happy to hear that. But my whole thing was, don't say that it was the presidential candidacy, the administration that caused your mom to not get Medicaid, because during his years, a lot of people did lose their Medicaid, but that was due to COVID, because a lot of people were getting it free, that wouldn't normally be qualified due to COVID. So when that whole pandemic train ended, a lot of people were kicked off because they naturally would not have been qualified before. And so being that he sounds pretty old, he sounds like he's in his 50s or 60s, and his mother is still alive, she's more than likely a senior. So my whole thing is she had to have been getting Medicare, not Medicaid. See, a lot of people don't know there's a difference. And that's all I was trying to break to him, is if she was not qualified for Medicaid, it's because she receives Medicare. Now, in certain states, they will give you like certain additional premiums with Medicaid, depending on your income and expenses. Like all of that ties into it. And I was trying to break it down for him because I used to work for the state myself. I know how this works. But he wasn't trying to hear me. He kept saying, I said, don't talk about my mom. Like, dude, I'm sitting here giving you information on why this could have happened, instead of you jumping a gun, blaming a whole dang administration that wasn't the cause of it. Because a lot of people did lose their Medicaid throughout his year when he, I think it was year 22 or 23, one of those years, they ended up losing it. But that's because the pandemic ended. Because a lot of people don't realize or remember that a lot of people who would normally not be qualified for Medicaid, when COVID first started, when that pandemic first hit, they became qualified because of the pandemic. So you get what I'm saying? Because normally, if you go back 10 years, 15 years, if you want to apply for Medicaid, those rules and those policies still apply. You still have to fall within the threshold of income, what your income is, what your expenses are, all of that ties in. So if you're not normally qualified for Medicaid during the pandemic years, you got it because of the pandemic. So once that came to term, when that ended, a lot of people were kicked off because they were no longer, they had to follow those policies or whatever the requirements was to receive it. But all I was trying to explain to him was, hey, your mom, she more than likely does not qualify for Medicaid because she has Medicare, which are two different things. And if she doesn't have Medicare, then there shouldn't be no reason that she's not getting Medicaid unless her income is exceeding the threshold. That's all I was trying to explain to that dude.
You know what? A lot of the like black dudes, they only really got into politics when Trump got into politics, so they don't really understand how the nuances of the politic game work. They just see Trump doing all this stuff and they're like, oh yeah, that's what. So like, it's hard to get through to them. So like, and then a lot of them,
it's a lost cause.
A lot of them get that money off of it too. Like my homeboy used to be. That's kind of how I got on here. My homeboy, he got on. And MAGA supporters love him when you with MAGA, and so a lot of them do it for that too. So don't get too upset. Don't get too invested. If they start getting in that.
No, I know. I was just agitated because I was really trying to get my point across, but a lot of people were not listening to what I was saying. They kept like surrounding it as I'm talking about his mother. I'm like, I'm not talking about this man's mom. I don't know that lady from Adam's Eve. Like, I'm sitting here trying to give him the game. I'm trying to wake him up. I'm trying to help him out. Like, you sitting here blaming the administration. Right.
And then it's coming from a woman to you trying to a woman be trying to correct them. Y'all gotta like that MAGA mentality. It like Big One was saying, that it's that misogynistic mentality, like where a woman can't read. You can't tell me what I'm doing wrong.
Okay. That's their lifestyle, man. That's in their mind. That's what it is.
Can't be wrong. Can't be wrong. I'd be like, man, I've been wrong so much.
That's why I say again, the solution is go for the youth, baby. Let's do what they did. Huh?
You said go for the youth. That's a pretty good plan.
Yeah, so I decided I'm no longer going to be debating. Anytime from MAGA, Trump supporters, I don't like engaging in conversations or debates with them because it gets nowhere, and it gets frustrating because it's like they're missing something in their brain. It's like they're missing certain brain cells to not be able to comprehend. Like, they say something and then you respond to what they say, and then they'll end up switching the whole thing. And it's like, hold on, where you going? Like, let's stick to this.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Let's
they
not
moved the
always be back in the
goalposts.
corner.
Yeah, they always
That's
move
why
the
I don't get on
goalposts.
panels. That's
Yeah, they
literally why I
always
don't get
move
on
the
panels.
goalposts. They always.
That's literally why I don't get on panels. Bro.
No, but they
That's
do.
why I don't.
Like I will say, I've talked to a few MAGA where I've been able to kind of get them to see certain things, but 98% of the time, it's just like you said. You can put all the facts in their face, and they're
And
gonna
they still
continue to
won't
move the
believe it.
goalposts.
The
Yep.
reason why I don't even entertain them, because if you tell them the facts and give them the real truth and they see it and they still MAGA after that, it's pointless.
Yeah, that's
It's
my whole thing. It's a waste of time. It's a waste of your breath. But then when I hear them talking and I hear them going back and forth with other people who be trying to explain it, I be wanting to get on there and just tell them, like, dude, just shut up and listen.
But that's why to me the biggest. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
No, I'm done. I ain't saying that.
No, to me, one of the biggest things that's hurting us right now is that a lot of us want to play this kind of this democracy game of, oh, well, there's on both sides. There's lies on both sides. There's violence on both sides. That's bullshit. The reality is one side is ignorant as hell. One side is averse to the facts. You know what I'm saying? One side has their literal leader in the president inciting division and violence.
Right.
And so when we play into this whole democratic style of, oh, well, it's on both sides, all we do in their minds is validify everything that they think. You know what I mean?
Right.
So
right.
And even
I
that
even had a
aspect
white
of-
lady ask me, can you name one racist thing that Trump has ever said? I said, ma'am, do you not know that a person can prove that they're racist by their actions as well? See,
Let me
you
tell
couldn't
you,
answer the question. You couldn't tell me one statement. So yeah.
hey,
I'm
Miko,
like, oh my God.
Miko, ask them this. Ask them this. How is Trump so America first? He's so anti-immigration and oh, we have too many people coming into our country, and Joe Biden shouldn't have been giving Haitians asylum and all that, right? Ask him, how is that his stance? But this the same guy that gave asylum to white South Africans.
Right? You don't hear nothing about that no more.
Yeah,
Right.
Exactly.
Right.
Look, he gave asylum to white South Africans based on a false premise that white South Africans are being hunted in South Africa, when the actual facts of the matter is that South Africa is dealing with a lot of crime problems right now. It's not just nobody's hunting white people out there. They're just dealing with a lot of high crime right now, a lot of high fatalities and things of that nature. But
you know, that was out like way in February sometime about them South Africans coming here.
My question is those people even still here?
No, so what happened was,
the
reality is this. The reality is what happened is he tried to pass the asylum, and only a certain amount of them really came, because really there's no crisis going on. You know what I mean? So it's not like you had thousands and tens of thousands of them migrating. No, only a small amount actually came because there is no crisis, and most of them are still in power out there. They chilling.
I'm gonna tell you one thing. It's diabolical, but it's also comedy. It's comedy like hell, because do you remember when the president of South Africa came and he was in the White House with Trump, and they played that video showing all those fake caskets?
Yeah.
I was cracking up, but I was like, watch MAGA be all over this, believing it.
Oh yeah. No, that was hilarious. That was hilarious. And hey, who was that president that he said, I'm impressed, I'm very impressed by your English? Who was, I forget, who was that?
Right. The president of Nigeria, I think.
Yeah.
The president of Nigeria.
Yeah, he said, I'm very impressed by your English. And he's like, that's our native language.
Right.
And shit, you seen the dude dragging for
Bro, this dude is a fool, man.
It is his comedy because he's so dumb.
It really is, bro. It's actual.
Oh, wait. He got a new one. This one just recent. I think this was a couple of days ago or yesterday or something. He said he needs to have a talk with the president of Puerto Rico.
Yeah, for the Bad Bunny. Yeah, no, absolutely. But look, all of the MAGAs, they really been saying, "Oh, Bad Bunny's not even American. Why would we have a non-American?" That's how ignorant they are. That's how ignorant they are.
That's crazy.
You had
And
that one MAGA girl, Tommy Lauren, to say, "Well, yeah, but don't you feel like we should put an American artist out there?" And the lady looked at her and said, "He's from Puerto Rico. That's U.S. territory."
Right.
And all she did was move the goalposts. All she did was say, "Well, yeah, but yeah."
But you know what? It's a lot of people that are dumb because, okay, this is what it is. Puerto Rico is not considered a state. It hasn't been established as a state, but it is governed by the U.S.
Yeah, it's U.S. territory.
So,
it's US
so
territory.
it's filled with U.S. citizens. The only difference is Puerto Ricans are not allowed to be involved when it comes into the elections and voting. They don't have the right to vote in, you know, on political parties and stuff like that. But that is U.S. territory, U.S. grounds.
Yeah.
So those are U.S. citizens. They are a part of the U.S. They're just not established as a state.
And to my understanding, it's been U.S. territory since like the early 1900s. Like it's been U.S. territory for a long time now.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So I mean, but this is how ignorant these people are. Where even
they're trying to get rid of the education.
And this is the thing too. This is what I hate, because whenever you hear rhetoric coming from Republicans and coming from MAGA, they love to say, "Well, this is what the Democrats and this is what the liberals are doing." And whenever they say that, they're talking about random people on Twitter. They're talking about like people that have no type of impact or influence. Most of the time when we speak about what the MAGA Republicans are doing or what the Republican Party is doing, we're speaking about what's coming from the actual president, the head of y'all party.
Right.
So you cannot conflate the two of what you saw a random liberal say on Twitter and compare that to what we're judging coming from the actual president's mouth. The two
they still make excuses. Oh,
Yeah,
you heard it wrong. Did you hear the full context of the conversation? Like, nigga, are we really that? Do you think we're that dumb?
They used to do that though. Look, the crazy part, they used to do that with Kamala Harris though. Think about that. They never listen to the full context of anything they put out there about that lady. They turn around and we ain't listening to their full context.
That's a good. I'm gonna write
for
that
real.
down.
Bro.
Accuse liberals of, they're guilty of.
Yeah.
It's a pattern. But I'm
Okay.
gonna need these black people to wake the hell up, because no,
Real life.
it's so disheartening to see it. And
But
I'm
it's
seeing more
always
and more
been
of
like
it.
that. It ain't nothing new under the sun.
Right.
You go back, you do your research on Nat Turner. You go back, you do your research on Gabriel's rebellion. It's always been the very few of us that want to feed into the oppression, want to feed into our oppressors, want white approval, and they mess it up for the rest of us. You know, and so you look at what happened with Nat Turner's rebellion when you know one slave went and ratted the rest of us out and got hundreds of black people killed.
Right.
That's what always happens.
Right. It's always from the inside with us. And we always embracing everything. And don't get me wrong, I have no problem with lately. I ain't gonna lie, I ain't been liking them too much. But with white people, I ain't really got no problem with them or no other race. But it's just like with us, especially this generation, under us, this generation, you know, I'm 40 years old. So like right now, I just feel like it's the action time, right? Like where we either can start changing minds and pushing a narrative, or we can lay back and conform. And it's like I take accountability with the whole situation because I wasn't paying attention as much before. You know what I'm saying? Like it was really, because I ain't gonna even lie to you. I wilded out and voted for Trump the first time. Just following everybody down here in the city, you know, the hype. That's Trump, like, you know, doing all that dumbass shit, not really paying attention. Same reason why I voted for Obama, to be honest with you, because he was the hype, blah, you know. But and that's why I hold myself accountable, because I should have really been paying attention more or less than just doing what the street, you know, what everybody do. So now I'm like, it's action time right now. You know what I'm saying? So now I ain't gonna lie, I be talking my shit out here in these streets of these little boys and shit. And you know, cause I got a little business and shit going. I employ all about. I employ anybody. Don't get me wrong, cause I even got 2 car cages. But at the same time, with mine, I'm pushing them to like a whole different level of like the business aspect. At least I'm trying. You know, like, and I feel like that's what we need to be really doing right now. Cause like
Yeah.
I get
Yeah.
everything that we've been through. I get everything, like the Democrats did this shit. They did this shit. It's fucking what the day is? October 4th or some shit. I don't even know what the day is. 2025.
It's the
Like,
fourth.
really gotta start making some moves, bro. Like, see what Conscious doing? I feel like that's major moves because you know how much shit I done learned just listening. Like, even from Miko and you big, I be hearing all y'all. I don't really get on the panel, but I stay on y'all trail, like really just listening and learning. But I just say that to say that's your, solutions. We need to really be solution based at the end of the day. Because fuck, if we sit back and just keep watching and talking about it, I don't know what the fuck we gonna be hit. So, that's just what my head at with it.
You're right, man. You're absolutely right. You absolutely right. And look, in terms of like for you voting for him for his first term, like man, American politics is like wrestling. A lot of times it is a lot of groupthink that tends to happen when it comes to
Yeah, but
American
don't get it
politics.
twisted. This time, dog, was on my shit. Like, I ain't gonna lie. This pop, I ain't gonna lie. Especially when I seen that black lady, I'm like, oh, like, let me really dig in. Man, I really started digging in. My whole mind changed about politics. I ain't gonna even lie to you. My whole mind. And thanks to Kamala Harris. I'm gonna be 100% honest with you. Again, the power of black women.
Yeah. It is.
It is what it is.
No, that's a fact, man. It is the power of the black women. And I be feeling bad for her, how much she had to deal with, and just how much the ignorance and the lies. Like they let so many, and I think that was one of the biggest issues with the campaign that she ran. She did not do a good enough job at neutralizing all the lies that they were spreading around her and her name. Because they lied about everything. They lied about her career in the DA. They lied about her background.
They tried to drag her through the mud.
Yeah, and that's the
They
thing
did.
is, and I get where she was coming from, thinking, okay, maybe it's best for me not to address these lies because they're, sometimes you don't want to add more fuel to them by addressing them. But what that did was it allowed so much false narratives to fester where I heard black people regurgitating it instead of, you know, stumping on it when she should.